I think it's amazing that there has been this huge unleashed outpouring of people saying they've had enough. You know, a lot of us have lung disease that can be directly traced, according to our physicians, to a specific burn. And people are realizing that it's not just a inconvenience. It is a health hazard. And it's a very, very difficult position that HC&S is in, because they want to continue farming, they want to continue providing jobs, and yet they're causing a health hazard for the public. And so I'm very hopeful that we can resolve this in a way that is going to be win-win.
Maui is such a wonderful place, you know, full of pristine beauty, and I've only lived here 12 years, but I'm very allergic to the cane smoke. Sometimes I can't work or even go out when the burns are happening. And so there's a group on Facebook called Maui Clean Air. There's about 900 people on there. And we just want clean air here. And I know I'm also a substitute teacher, and I see children very deeply affected, like their asthma rates have increased. And this isn't about like us being against HC&S. Like I really, you know, care about the people that work there, and I feel like that there's healthy alternatives. Like we could get industrial hemp legalized. We could grow bamboo. I just feel like we just need to open up the communication as a community and take out the separation that's going on, and love one another, and realize that HC&S is owned by Alexander and Baldwin, which is a huge corporation. This is not a traditional like Hawaiian practice. This is like people that came in and took the lands and hired people, and that's still what's going on today.
We think there's a better way for Maui we can produce clean jobs. None of these workers are going to lose their jobs. They'll just learn to do green cultivation in one form or another. And I'm quite sure there's federal grant money to allow HC&S to purchase equipment or help them purchase equipment, and they can do it if they have their heart in it. And they should have their heart in it, because it's the people of Maui that count. People first.
I've been here for 10 years, and 4 years ago, diagnosed with lung cancer. And when they burned the fields, I coughed steadily for 2 days, and blood flecks too. So I'm really sick of the cane burning.
We're concerned about jobs too, and we hope that HC&S will accelerate their move to biofuels that won't require burning, and will convert to no burn harvesting on those acres that they can. But here's the bottom line. How many asthma deaths are a fair trade for the jobs? That's the community question we need to discuss.
Anyone who's conducting business should not be allowed to cause harm. And it's clear to me when I wake up in the morning and I see my son's face, and that's why I have this sign here, Let My Son Breathe. He's 5 years old, and you know, it affects me, it affects our whole family, and it affects my keiki. I can tell when I wake up by the way that I'm breathing and by the way that my son's face looks, especially under the eyes, and the way he's breathing, whether there's been a burn that morning.
Some people say that if we stop farming cane, that we'll pave over Maui. Well, first off, they can still harvest cane on at least 15,000 acres by not burning. Second off, they can move to biofuels. And third off, they have ag designation on their land. They cannot pave over their ag designated land unless the county council agrees to change the zoning. So where we should be concentrating our efforts is the county council, who's already converting cane land to urban.
We're not against sugar. We're not against sugar for biofuel. We are not against HC&S. We just want to breathe clean air. Well, personally, it's a travesty. I mean, nobody can breathe when everybody gets sick, not to mention the property damage, the damage to the reefs and the marine animals. What can I say? I came down with acute mononucleosis on one combination bad bog and cane burning day, and I couldn't get out of bed for 3 months. That's how I got involved in the first place.
I and many people I know have been suffering sore throats, hard to breathe, irritated eyes, all kinds of different health, asthma, and it's just you know, it's got to stop. We need to let our lawmakers know that this is really it's a health hazard, and we need to find a better alternative. My heart goes out to the sugar cane. We want to encourage them to find a way to be able to save their jobs, stay in business, be able to harvest their sugar by dry harvesting. There are ways of doing that, and or the inside burning, or at minimum burn it in places far, far, far away from people that can be harmed by it.
Well, hardwoods are very much in demand. They could grow trees, or they could grow fruit of all different kinds. And we import 90% of our food here on Maui. We should be growing it.
I really believe that cane burning is bad for people and it's bad for the environment. And that's because there's dangerous chemicals that are used in the burning, chemicals like formaldehyde. And whenever they burn, there are a lot of people that end up in emergency with respiratory problems. And I know that there are other countries that use other methods of processing the cane very successfully. And I don't know why the company here doesn't switch over. We also have to consider the pesticides that are used in the crop. And these pesticides are poisoning the food, it's poisoning the soil, the water, the air. And all of these things need serious consideration.
It's gotten to the point where the public just has had enough. They know it's damaging. The EPA is now on a big effort to shut down soot because they know it's a health hazard. And people are seeing that and they're going, well, how is it possible? The Department of Health can tell us we cannot burn in our backyard because it's a health hazard, but they allow HCNS to burn 36,000 acres?